Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me at the table, Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson. And we've also got Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. We have an interconference showdown here in Boston where the Celtics will square off. And it's going to be the Grizzlies off the tip. Right side Bane. Memphis moving it around. Here's Morant. Shot clock at 5. True on the 14-footer. And what a matchup we have here in the front court, Greg.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
Tatum wide open. He fires one. Off target from outside. Here's Bane. Banked in off the glass.
Guys, just ridiculous. He is just an absolute surgeon when he has the ball. This man is surgical. There is no way to slow him down when he wants to score.
Now here's Brown. Pass to Porzingis. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Really unacceptable letting Porzingis get that kind of positioning. Once he's established, it's over.
Here's Edey. Another shot. And he lays it up and in.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they need to emphasize rebounding going forward.
And you look at the Grizzlies' defense the last few years, RJ extremely disruptive.
Yeah, they've been top of the league in steals and blocks. That's just a part of the DNA in Memphis. It can be exhausting playing against guys like this.
Grizzlies off to a quick start here. Jackson with it, now guarded by Tatum. Here's Edey. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Tatum deciding where to go with it. And it's Desmond Bane with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Grizzlies on defense. 6-point lead. Brown outside. Back to White. Clock at 6. Lets the 3 fly. And it's Brown missing. And Morant's got the ball here for the Grizzlies. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Kevin, the Grizzlies retired Marc Gasol's number 33 last season. I recall he moved to Memphis in his teens, watching his older brother Powell play for the Grizz. Mark said, I had a very unique perspective, that of a fan. When I came back as a Grizzlies player, I carried that with me. Kevin, that pride certainly showed.
Pride's a great word to use. No question, DA. Thank you. The kick out to Tatum. And it's Holiday at the elbow. Outside Tatum. And Desmond Bane pulls it down. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. And every year, and Greg, we agree, Bane seems to get better and better as a playmaker.
Doesn't overdo anything with his passing. Looks more and more comfortable creating off the driving kick. He's become a large part of this offensive engine.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. GA, these Boston Celtics are unquestionably a top-tier offensive unit.
Stupendous shooting, excellent instincts with the ball. Yeah, they are a model offense in many ways, making it tough for many teams to keep up with.
We've got a timeout called by Taylor Jenkins. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust.
Give it a dance like everyone's watching. Everybody get down. Show us those moves.
Memphis making a change here. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. A baseline J. Out to Morant. Shot from the wing. That's good on the jump shot.
Assisted.
Morant's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Just taking what the defense gives him. Morant keeping it simple on offense. I love it.
Brown, no good. Memphis leading by 6. High post, Jackson. Here's Morant. And it's blocked by Brown.
Terrific anticipation by Brown, managing to see the shot coming and get ahead of it.
Up top, Morant. And stolen by Horford. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Shoots over Morant. Bank shot, no good. Memphis with the ball. Jackson down low. And he makes good on the layup.
Just like his pops, Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah, look, this man, when he gets close to the hoop, it is pretty much automatic. You can't let that happen.
Now here's Brown. Over to the wing. Pass to Hauser. Now here's Brown. Guarded by Jackson. Clock at 4. Buries the long-range jumper. 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Jackson down low. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 5. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Grizzlies.
The story so far has been their mid-range shooting. The analytics might not like it, but elite offenses still knock it down from that area.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Morant with it. And Horford pulls it down. It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it, hard to win games.
Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Intelligent play by Tatum, moving the ball to get an open shot.
And you watch Jason Tatum, year to year, he is a model of consistency. Across the board, the numbers are pretty similar, and the effort never wanes. And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Now here is Holiday. Scoreless thus far.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Here's Morant. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. R.J. Morant has always had unquestionable talent. Now it's a question of, can he focus on his game?
And you hope he had his wake-up call. Still one of the most exciting players in the game. His burst and bounce, one of a kind. And we talk a lot about Morant's athleticism and skill, but what stands out for me is his effort and intensity that he plays with.
Nice ball movement by Boston. Pass to Hauser. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
And sometimes on defense, you can just get lucky.
And that one is good.
What a pass from Morant. He does a terrific job staying alert, seeking out the right opportunities to get his teammates involved.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. Celtics trail by 5. And Craig has it in the corner. Pass to Walsh. Back to Holiday. Left side, Horford. Here's Walsh. No good from outside.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, with the Grizzlies' injuries last season, there was a lot put on Jaren Jackson Jr.'s plate. Coach Taylor Jenkins says he loves the challenge and the growth opportunity. Jackson said, "You always work on everything. You work on your game because you love it, and if you get a chance to use it, great." Kevin, back to you.
And he's always working on his game. All right, David, we thank you for that report. Now here's Jackson. Craig pulls it in. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Tatum, no good.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And it's Morant missing. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. 7-point differential. A wide open look here for Craig. And the three ball is good. Craig's got his first 3 points of the game. Richard, the Celtics have been among the NBA's elites for quite a while now.
Well, they've been a title contender every year for almost a decade now. Even with several coaching changes over that time, they've been the model of consistency.
Now here's Tatum, following the miss by John Morant. Over Jackson. Tatum's shot is off.
See, that miss right there, it's why teams try to avoid the mid-range jumper these days.
A shot by Wells, no good. Celtics trail by 4. And Horford wide open. He shoots. No good with the triple. So it's the Grizzlies now. Here's Morant. Pass to Wells. Holiday with the block.
An aggressive defender who pressures ball handlers. Nobody should be surprised to see Holiday sending shots away.
Edey can't hit. Holiday with it. Now defended by Bane. Craig. That 3 off the mark. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Second shot opportunity. The shot by Wells, no good. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Outside Tatum. Pass to Walsh. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Memphis. Right side Bane. And again, Memphis no good. It'll count. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Memphis out in front, leading by 4. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. And you hear Richard about players dunking and putting a hurting on the rim, but that iron sometimes can put a hurting on a player's hands too, right?
Oh, and then when you get older, those landings, they can start to hurt too. End of the day, there's a price to be paid for all that high flying and rim wrecking, and it's worth it.
Outside Tatum. 5 on the clock. Over Edey. Tatum gets it to go inside.
And it's clear that Tatum loves the mid-range, excels at recognizing when to shoot from there.
Baseline try. Stolen by Tatum. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Desmond Bane. It's his first trip to the line. He's off on the first. After earning the number 2 seed in the 2023 playoffs, Richard, last season was a lost year because of all those injuries and other things in Memphis.
Ja Morant only played 9 games last year. Desmond Bane missed half the year. Marcus Smart out. The Grizzlies still have a lot of young talent and a very bright future.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Now, here's Bane. Jason Tatum missing his last shot. Jackson is doubled. Back to Morant. To the paint. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. That one falls. Now it's a 5-point Memphis lead.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, taking it right to the rim. One imagines that might be discussed at halftime. That's going to be on the film.
Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Jackson with it. Now guarded by Tatum. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He wants to talk to his guys.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
And coach called his timeout to try and reset things on offense. Shake them up a bit so they can hopefully start getting some shots to fall.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Holiday looking for an opening. To the inside. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Craig's got 5 points so far.
A shifty player who really thrives on making the right play. Holiday sure runs a smooth pick and roll.
And Derek White, he's one of the most valuable guards, Richard, in the NBA.
White can play the one, he can shoot the ball, plus he is an all-league defender. So Derek White gives you everything you want in your backcourt.
Now, here's Wells. Following the miss by Porzingis. And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That's his first foul. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Morant, and he uses the glass on the layup. 10 points for him.
Closer in, look, let me just tell you, Morant, he's going to find a way to score. He just has such a fantastic touch around the rim.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Richard, so many things about Jrue Holiday's game we love, but what impresses you most about his game?
Well, I know it's an easy answer, but it's his defense. It's hard to be a feared defender in the modern NBA, Kevin. But Holiday is such a pest at all times on that end of the floor.
The Celtics working the ball around now. Outside Holiday. Good on the three-point shot.
Gotta respect the range of Holiday if you're the D, showing he can hurt you from that area.
Here's Morant. Off target from the baseline. We've got 1:48 left in the third quarter of the game. To the middle. Out to White. Over in the corner, Brown.
Personal foul. Third team foul. Substitutions for the Celtics. Nick Burnett.
Pass to Holiday. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Memphis leading. Here's Morant. It's deflected. Brown outside for the lead, and the layup is up and in.
Muscling that one in. JB is a strong individual.
Here's Edey. Boom, he jams it straight down. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Now here's Holiday. He's got 6. Here's Brown. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brown.
Horrible mistake right there. You hate to see unforced turnovers like that.
Al Horford.
44 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Morant. Got a hand on it. That's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. Nice move. Here he goes. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish.
And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the play and doing just enough to bother him at the rim.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game. Outside, Horford. From outside, off the mark. Offside, Pippen. On the wing, Jackson. And a miss there on the triple. Morant with the steal. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Grizzlies lead by 1.
31. The Grizzlies. 32.
3 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the 4th. And here's Morant. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. They lead by 1. Here's Edey. Rebounded by Hauser. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Just lost his head out there. It'll happen if you're pushing a little too hard.
Celtics making a switch here.
Al Horford.
Morant outside. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
A great scorer. Morant showing his poise on that shot.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
I'm liking the throwback approach. They're making use of the mid-range area and inflicting major damage there.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Pulls up on the wing. The rebound by the Celtics. Here's Cornette. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
Grizzlies ball. Coming onto the floor for the Celtics. Number 13, Drew Peterson.
And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Inside. Here's Edey. Makes that one his 6th of the night. Shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
And the Celtics making a change here.
Number 4, Drew Holiday.
And so here's Memphis. Now here's Morant for 3. Rebounded by Hauser. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
Number 88, Namias Queta.
Morant outside. Pass to Edey. Morant scanning the floor. There's the drive. Here's Edey. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
Hard work pays off with a rebound and a bucket. That's just great fundamentals.
That'll be a 5-second call.
And just a little too lax with that possession, and it cost them.
And if they want to come back in this game, look, they got to clean up those mistakes.
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Here's Morant. Porzingis with the block.
And just fast off the floor to challenge shots. Porzingis, this helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
Boston on D. Trailing here by 8. Here's Morant. Pass to Pippen. Morant outside. Looking to get it going. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Costly error there. We'll see how they rebound from that miscue.
Well, they don't have time to dwell on that. They just need to learn from their mistakes and move forward. Next play.
And it's Taylor Jenkins calling timeout here. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. Grizzlies making a switch here. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Coach Taylor Jenkins talked to his team during the break. He told them, don't look at the scoreboard. We have to play like we're tied. They want their team to sustain that level of effort, and we'll see how it works out. Kevin?
Thank you, David.
He gets a lot of defensive attention, but Morant, he can expect this type of rough scene anytime he takes it inside.
Oh, costly error there. We'll see how they rebound from that miscue.
Well, they don't have time to dwell on that. They just need to learn from their mistakes and move forward. Next play.
A kick out to Bane. Back to Morant. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
And just a little too lax with that possession, and it cost them.
And if they want to come back in this game, look, they got to clean up those mistakes.
The rebound by the Celtics. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Oh, costly error there. We'll see how they rebound from that miscue.
Well, they don't have time to dwell on that. They just need to learn from their mistakes and move forward. Next play.
Pass to Edey. And it goes down 2 points. Edey's got 12 points in just the second half.
The team-first mindset of Jackson, willing to get the ball to his open guys.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
And just a little too lax with that possession.
On the road and hungry for a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Milwaukee Bucks are ready for this thing to get started. Welcome to 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Now, here is Halliburton. And Nembhard has it in the corner. A three-pointer off the mark. Hey, Brett, where would you rank the Lopez brothers as the best NBA siblings?
Well, they've had storied careers, both of them. Certainly in terms of the argument about the best twins to ever play the game, you could make an argument for them. You had, of course, Tom and Dick Van Arsdale in the 60s, Horace and Harvey Grant in the 90s. But what the Lopez brothers have been able to do, not in terms of their longevity, but in terms of their contribution to their teams, both very different. These guys have to be up there.
And Turner throws it down.
Throwing it down on that one. Turner really showing off that athleticism.
Here's Lillard. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Turner with the screen. Halliburton for 3. Offensive rebound, Pacers. Some nice passing here by Indiana. 5 on the clock. Here's Turner. And the rebound goes to Lopez.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Rick Carlisle and I did speak a few minutes ago. I asked him what his team needed to do in order to contain Giannis Antetokounmpo. Coach told me we have to make sure to communicate and help out on defense, specifically clogging up and taking away lanes to the rim. That's how he can really hurt you. Of course, it'll be an all-hands-on-deck tonight approach, trying to stop the Greek Freak. Guys?
Thank you, David. A nice shot by Nesmith.
And the all-around game of Siakam, so adept at working the ball to open guys.
And Greg, 2 seasons ago, the Bucks ranked first in defensive rating. Last season, they dropped down to number 19.
Yeah, shifting defensive schemes, coaching changes, also swapping Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. But they can and should be better than 19.
Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Aggressive and incredibly quick end-to-end. Lillard is always a threat on the fast break.
Halliburton for 3. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Milwaukee in the lead. Lillard with the bucket. 6 points for Lillard.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
You know what time it is, Pacers Nation. Time to get...
I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Here's Richards. Left side, Beal. Kicks it out to Booker. From past the arc. That's good. And so Beal with the assist. All the talk, Greg, leading up to this one has been about the impact of the backcourt.
And that's where it all starts. When you have a confident and competent backcourt, it just opens up a lot of things for you offensively.
Murray with it. Now guarded by Booker. Murray, good.
You know, when Murray finishes like this, guys, it shows you how aggressive his mindset is in attacking the defense.
And timeout is called by Mike Budenholzer. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. The Nuggets making a switch here.
Give yourself a round of applause. In for the Nuggets, number 4.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Well, I briefly spoke with Mike Budenholzer. Now, I asked him if he has any plan for dealing with the multi-time MVP, Nikola Jokic. He said it's all about balance. If you defend Jokic too aggressively, he'll just kick it out to other guys too softly, and he'll kill you inside. So balance is the key. Sounds like a tough balancing act to pull off, guys.
All right, David, thanks.
Have a lot of respect for Jokic's feel for the game. He plays the right way, sees everything, great vision, and he processes what he sees so quickly.
Now here's Beal. Pass to Durant. 6 to shoot. Phoenix needs to get off a shot. For 3, Booker. Jokic grabs the miss. Mark, it has been quite a run for the Nuggets, hasn't it, who have made the playoffs every season since 2019.
And how about this, Kevin? They've only been lower than a 3 seed one time in that span. And that was because Murray missed the season due to injury. They are consistently tough.
And that one drops for him.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
And that one, good. Booker's got 5.
And you know, defenses try to get physical with Booker, and now he's used to that. He just plays through the contact.
Now here's Westbrook. And it's sent back by KD. To the middle. Here's Richards. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. The Suns shooting their first free throws of the game.
And they shot 81% from the line last season as a team, so you really can't find fault. What they're able to do there.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
And so he makes both from the line. The Nuggets trail. Here's Porter. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Bradley Beal picks one up. Well, Michael Porter Jr. is one of the premier shooters in the NBA.
And that size that he brings to that sweet stroke makes it hard to get to a shot. 6'10", shoots it with confidence, shoots it with great fluidity. And, man, is he special. And he's worked through some injury trouble early in his career. And now he's one of the more lethal front court players in the league on the perimeter.
Now here's Jones. Misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor. 2 minutes. Porter with it. Now Bol defending. And that one's good by Porter.
Sweet move by Porter Jr. Getting around the contact and finding the hoop.
Here's Bol. That's in, coming off the assist from O'Neal.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Well, this early, they should be showing a lot more energy on defense. It's not there.
And it's Jokic missing.
It's not get much easier than that, but somehow he came up empty there.
O'Neal wide open. No good on the triple.
We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide open look.
For three, Westbrook. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Boy, and that's a big deal for Westbrook because when he starts to knock down shots from distance, it really opens up his full bag of attack mode offense.
And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way from 17 feet out. And it's Phoenix with the rebound. Now here's Plumlee. Scoreless thus far. Allen. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket. Here's Westbrook. They can go 2 for 1.
It's about being smart right now.
Double team on Westbrook. Jokic with the bucket.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed. Never in a hurry.
Suns trail by 3. They get a hand on it. And now the Nuggets. Fast break. Here's Brown. Throws down the breakaway jam.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
It's Westbrook with the drive. And finished off by Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
And so it's Denver, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And don't... And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for Denver?
They've really been disruptive on the defensive end, forcing turnovers and turning those turnovers into points at the other end.
Gordon inside. Westbrook can't get it to go. Suns trail by 7. Over in the corner, Allen. Suns moving the ball around. Plumlee with the screen. Allen's shot is off. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. Clark, as you look at the career of Aaron Gordon, he has blossomed into an elite role player.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's done that. He's embraced his role. He's embraced taking fewer shots.
Along with Grant Hill and Brent Barry and our sideline reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Grant, looking at these two teams, my attention is drawn to the front court matchup.
Oh, yeah. This should be a battle on the baseline. Great to watch skilled bigs trade blows and show off what they can do down low.
Now here's Dort. Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. The three is up. Edwards pulls it in. And so it's Edwards who brings up the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that one's good from Conley.
A cagey score on the inside. Conley has the smarts and he has the skill.
And here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, a clear foul there on the shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. And something that makes SGA so dangerous on offense, his elite drive and kick ability.
Yeah, you have to load towards him when he comes off a high pick. He just draws so much attention and can find another cutter or spot-up shooter. He has so much gravity to his game.
And for him, that is an ugly trip to the line. Rarely do you see him do that.
Shooting the three with confidence. That's exactly what this team needs from Edwards.
And it's good. 2 points.
He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end.
Outside Edwards. Outside Conley. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. Allie LaForce had a chance to catch up with head coach Chris Finch. Allie, what do you have to say?
I asked him specifically about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and what their defensive game plan is for him, and Coach said we have to be active, we have to keep him in front of us, and to try to limit his chances around the rim. Their offense really opens up when he's able to attack the basket, so let's see if the defense is up for the challenge. BA?
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Here's Holmgren. And that's good. His first bucket of the game. Almost 2 minutes into the first here. Outside Edwards. Back to Conley. Gobert, he's open. And slammed it home. And the foul. A chance at another point at the line. It's going to be on Jalen Williams. And Grant, the success of teams like the Timberwolves showing that size still matters.
Yeah, in this pace and space era, that may have come into question just a bit, but size and skill combined has always been your best bet at winning.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, and that one's good. That makes him 2 for 3.
Gilgeous-Alexander is such a tough cover, especially at his size.
Pass to Gobert. Soft touch off the glass. Gobert's got 5 now.
And they may have talked about shot selection coming into this.
Stolen by Conley. And they're on the run. Moving it up. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
When Gobert is close like that, you know he's going to try and ram it through.
And we've got a timeout called by Mark Daigneault. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. Oklahoma City making a switch here. Thunder trail by 8. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. An easy 2 on the layup. He has 6.
Gilgeous-Alexander creative and tricky on that play.
Pass to Edwards. Beyond the arc. Fires it in the triple.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Now Gilgeous-Alexander. His 4th make in 5 tries. Solid start for him.
He's got the ability to do damage inside and out. SGA's not going to miss that.
Here's Edwards. Can't hit that one. Good work defensively by Dort. Well, it's rare to see a young player as efficient as Jalen Williams, Brent.
Yeah, it's been remarkable, especially when you factor in that this guy is relied on for a lot of shooting. I mean, his shooting volume is very high. This is a blossoming star for this team, and I'm not sure we could put a ceiling on what that potential is.
And that's a foul called on Isaiah Hartenstein. That's his first foul of the game.
These calls can be so difficult for officials to make.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first.
It's never easy from that distance, but we see him drill those and shoot around all the time.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-up, so maybe just a step too far.
Randall outside. Back to Gobert. Pass to Randall. And he lobs it up top. 5 to shoot. Dort with a steal. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. It's rebounded by Minnesota. To the left wing. Randall inside. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Yeah, Randall's not passing that one up. Fantastic job at converting when he's got the kind of position like that.
Gilgeous-Alexander's shot is good.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
Outside McDaniels. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Randall inside. Randall draws the double. Parked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call.
Substitution.
15 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And there's the drive. Nice D from Reed.
A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time we're not backing off.
The baskets were coming early and often in the first quarter. It's Minnesota upset. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter in this one. And when you consider how Minnesota is doing, guys, your thoughts?
They are looking engaged so far, especially on offense.
Well, if they wanted to start well, this would be it. They seized momentum right away, and they just didn't let it go in that quarter.
Hartenstein pulls it in.
A rare miss for him at point-blank range. That's one he'd like to have back.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, the Timberwolves are one of the biggest teams in the association, and Coach Chris Finch said, quote, "That's how we're built. It's part of our identity. That's what we have to lean into. We want to be big at the rim and force our size on opponents." Ryan, he loves to see other teams hesitant to venture into the paint.
Hearing footsteps, right? Allie, thanks. And last season, Brent, many believe that SGA was deserving of the MVP award.
Well, he made such a strong case, BA. I mean, finishing in the top three, that is remarkable. He led that young Thunder team, again, to the #1 seed in the Western Conference and averaged 36 and 5. He also led the league at 2 steals per game. What a season.
6 on the shot clock. A slam dunk by Reed.
And sometimes the simplest play is the best one. DiVincenzo made it.
And we've got a timeout called by Mark Daigneault. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan.
Substitution on court.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Pass to Dort. Here's Hartenstein. Lays it up and banks it in. Hartenstein's got his first points in this one. It's Edwards on the wing. Second quarter here, just over a minute and a half played. And Minnesota again with a bucket.
And the offensive firepower Edwards is capable of is special. I mean, we are seeing it on full display right now.
And it's in there.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
Minnesota leading by 10. Outside, DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. On the wing, Alexander Walker. Launches it. Edwards, no good.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Back to Williams. Stripped away. And here we go, the Timberwolves on the run. Oh, it's Edwards all the way.
You can't lose sight of where Edwards is in transition. He can be so explosive in these situations.
Here's Holmgren. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Reed for three. Outside, DiVincenzo from the arc. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, and Reed with a block. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Reed. And Mark Daigneault has called a timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Moving the restricted area out?
Yeah, B.A., I would. We've seen a lot of injuries when defenders slide underneath elevated players on the drive. So cutting down that risk makes a lot of sense.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Hartenstein. And Hartenstein slams it in.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanted to close the gap. Makes sense to get aggressive on the glass here. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Looking to get it going. Strong finish by Gilgeous-Alexander.
This is what Gilgeous-Alexander does. He attacks you relentlessly.
And here in the second quarter of action, as we approach 4 minutes played. Nice shot by DiVincenzo.
That's one of the best three-point shooters. You've got to try to scramble the Jets right here and get that guy off the sweet spot.
From behind the arc. The rebound by the Timberwolves.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide-open look from three-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Well, I know they don't have mobile devices out there for texting, so they might as well talk to one another.
Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Here's Dillingham. Going inside. Banked it in off the glass. Dillingham's got his first basket. Thunder trail by 15. Pass to Holmgren. They need this. Hauled in by DiVincenzo. And Minnesota has possession. Outside McDaniels. To the inside. Gobert. Takes a three. And DiVincenzo hits from deep. DiVincenzo's got 6 here in the quarter.
Well, you want to chase him off the three-point line. DiVincenzo able to settle in that time.